Really? We're going live?
Did you ever see that Bill O'Neill? What he was like 20 years ago?
No, I'm too young.
Yeah, it was funny.
Hey,
Bill
everyone.
O'Reilly,
Oh,
which you wouldn't watch anyway, would you?
no.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, there we go.
Because, you know.
Because you only like to watch. Okay.
Hey, yeah, so welcome to the Monday Ask Mike Anything.
Oh, don't ask me anything today. In fact, today is going to be Ask Mike only things that have to do with computing.
Right, because
We're just
we already started on politics.
Yeah, because you guys missed it before the camera came on. We were like, like a scene from The Simpsons or something.
Because we're not quite on the same.
Primary color.
We differ somewhat in our politics.
Yeah, just
even
a
though we're friends.
smidge.
Yeah, so.
Just a smidge. So anyway, so we're up, we're live, we're cooking.
We're live.
Has anybody told us they can hear us?
No. Dave says, "Would these sound like the sound of music? Julie Andrews would be proud."
Your voice dies at sea.
They are welling up in the Swiss Alps. Shall we start yodeling?
Yodel. The funny part is I can yodel. Seriously.
Let's not go there, Dave.
I'm drinking coffee. I can't do it. It needs more lubrication in order for me to yodel. All right. So anyway, hi everybody. I'm Mike Meyers.
And I'm Scott Jernigan.
That's what it is. It's all the timing, man. It's the timing that does it every time. So this is the Mike Meyers Coronavirus AMA live stream. The goal of this live stream is to provide those of us who are isolated by the coronavirus an opportunity to continue our studies on CompTIA certifications. So we concentrate primarily on A+, Net+, and Security+, but we can certainly go outside of that as well and even move outside of CompTIA certifications as on an as-needed basis, although we usually have to look up those answers. Why, sure, let me Google that for me. So anyway, who do we have? Why does nobody ever is on at 2 o'clock? There's always like a few people on at 2.
Tolo was on at 1:41.
Well, Tolo, I mean, he gets paid. Ooh, I shouldn't have told you that.
Nice. So,
I need some more tar paper to put in this coffee because it's, not quite burnt tasting enough. Tastes like Starbucks. Oof. I have opinions on things today, dude.
oh boy, this is going to be one of those days.
Watch it.
If I push my luck, I could get fired again.
Judson.
It'll be awesome.
So anyway, I've decided to organize my life. And I've hired a professional organizer. And it was actually pretty cool. I thought she'd walk in and be like a scene from Hoarders, and she'd be like, okay. No, she was actually like, yeah, I got this. This is easy. I'm like, okay. But the hard part is? She's making me throw things away.
Oh, don't do that.
She said,
how can you be a hoarder if you throw things away?
Right? She said, does this spark joy? I'm like, no. It takes up volume in the closet. Therefore, it's good. Spark joy.
Spark joy. I like that.
It comes from some television cleanup organization.
I don't know.
There's this Japanese lady who's all I can
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody will post her name in the chat. Yes, I mean, that's the whole question. Does this bring you joy? If not, then get rid of it.
It's like, I'm sorry, but flour does not bring me joy.
Yes, it does.
Then
you can bake cookies.
Okay, most of the time, that thing of flour doesn't spark any joy, but whatever. So we're getting organized around here. And so, of course, this makes Scott Jernigan's day to actually consider the fact of Mike Meyers cleaning up his act a little bit. So
yeah, because I'm looking around and I instantly want to start cleaning. So
he really does. It's terrifying.
So who do we have today?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So guys, do keep in mind, especially for you new folks, I see some new names here. Pop this out so I can actually see what's going on here. I'll get off Top Chat, head over to Live Chat.
So if you leave, the default setting for the chat window is Top Chat, and by default, it censors various posts. So if you want to see all the discussion, click the little 3 vertical dots, the vertical ellipses, and switch over, or actually no, hit the little down arrow next to top chat and go to live chat instead. Then you'll see everything.
Yeah, especially if we have competitions today, which we almost certainly will. It'll make a big difference in your experience today. So basically, here's how this live stream Ask Mike Anything works. So all you have to do is type your questions into the chat window, and I'll answer them. And if I can't answer them, we got lots of folks around here who are pretty sharp, who can all do a good job on that in terms of answering questions that I may not be able to answer.
Absolutely.
And if you're the shy type, don't be afraid. You can just go ahead and email me. My email address is michaelm@totalsem.com. And just go ahead and send in an email, and you can bring your question in there, and then I'll answer them when I have the opportunity, which is usually the next day or two, the next presentation or two. Sometimes I'll skip one. I have not been getting a lot of questions lately. Or if I'm getting questions, they're really good questions. They're just not AMA questions. You know, it's like question number 3278 says 2 + 2 = 5 for extremely large values of 2. So,
and to which I respond, Marie Kondo.
is that the Japanese lady who does that? So I'm getting my joy sparked. Ooh, careful there.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
into that conversation.
Tolo it. That's all I got to say to that. You know. So anyway, for you new folks, do keep in mind we're a little bit irreverent and fun here. This goes on for 2 hours. So we start at 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time, and we will run until 4 o'clock Central Daylight Time, or until the questions run out, whichever comes first. So that's completely up to you guys. We're always glad to take care of that for you. We do have some new names here. It's good to see Choco Taco. I haven't seen for a while. That's not a new name. And CLW Chang's back. Jean Dorval. It's been a while since we've seen Jean, right? Jean?
I saw him last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Right. And Edwin, good to see Edwin. It's been a while since Edwin. Simon Edling from Sweden.
If I knew any words in Swedish, I would say something.
I know one word. I know how to say cool. Like, hey, that's really cool. You ready?
Ready.
Coolt.
Nice.
That's all I know. That's
well,
all
hey.
the Spanish I know right there. Swedish. That wasn't even on purpose. It's all the Swedish I know. Sorry, Simon. Errato85. Just stop laughing at me. I'm the president of Total Seminars.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, rumph. I didn't get a rump from that man.
Rumph.
Yeah, watch it. I got to get some of this coffee knocked back. Okay, so Errato85. Okay, so what I'll do is whenever I'm catching a question, I'll actually say the time on there. So if you want to, you might want to toggle on the timestamps just because I get behind, and that's how we know what the questions are. If by any chance I miss a question, don't get mad. Just type it again. It's not that big of a deal.
But if you have the timestamp on, then you can see where we're at in the chat.
Yeah.
So that you can see whether your question has been skipped or not.
There you go.
There you go.
Crazy Homebody Girls here.
Excellent. Good afternoon.
CompTIA and Solutions Limited. Hi. CompTIA and Solutions Limited.
Okay.
Limited, therefore he's EU-ish, probably.
Could be.
Could be.
Okay. Richard Bro is jumping straight in. Ready? Oh, yeah. Let me mention you for Raymond. As long as she doesn't make you throw your hats away, Mike, because that would be sad.
No. This gal's great, and she does a really good job. Guys, I hide the scary piles from you. Let Scott Jernigan assure you that my house is filled with scary piles, okay? My home is generally fairly neat, but then I have scary piles because I don't know what else. There's just stuff. I don't know what to do with the stuff.
And then there's the scary piles in the closets.
Not going to touch it. Tanya Jacobson at 208. First, wish you gave content for CISSP. Do you have recommendations? Best way to learn and prep for it? Yeah, Tanya. Look up a writer called Robin Abernathy. Robin's actually a competitor of mine, but she's a fine author and does a good job. And I know that Robin is working. I don't know if I should say that. I don't want to be presumptive. look up Robin Abernathy. You can look her up, just go on Amazon, look up Robin Abernathy, and anything Robin Abernathy makes that says CISSP on it, you want to get it.
Okay, excellent.
What else we got here? Tanya Jacobson, I listen to all your awesome A+, Security+, etc. on a daily basis and recommend it to everyone. Tanya!
Did you get Richard's question at 2:05?
I guess I missed it.
Okay. So at 2:05, Richard Bro says, hey, studying Security Plus and have a few questions. First one being the difference between SQL and command injections.
Well, I think you got to be careful the way you say that, right? When they say command injections, I'm not aware of command injections as an injection. SQL injections I've seen all day long, but we're going to have to research that one and get back to you on it. Sorry, man. Happens sometimes. Let's go on to the next one. Sorry, bud.
Oh, okay, next one. Another question is, what can you tell me about the keys and blocks meaning in ciphers?
Ooh, okay. I could tell you a lot about it. So keep in mind, when a cipher is the math behind an algorithm. So what you want to say here is, what about the keys and blocks meaning in cipher algorithms, like, say, AES or RC4 or whatever it might be?
Right.
And that is, there's two kind of ways to encrypt stuff symmetrically. You can encrypt it in chunks, like a chunk of 64 bits at a time, and then you encrypt that, set it to the side, grab the next 64. So we call that block. And then you can encrypt one bit at a time, and we call it streaming. So what I can tell you about the word blocks when we're talking about cipher algorithms is that that is one way that we do encryption, is by taking a chunk of stuff, like for example the famous AES is a block encryption, and it encrypts 64 bits, does whatever it's going to do, and then grabs the next 64 bits and puts it all back together on the other end. So what's the other question? Keys. So a key, if in order to make an encryption, let's just stick with encryption because keys can appear in other places, but let's keep it simple. In order to perform a symmetric encryption, which basically means everybody has to, I'm going to back that up even a little bit more now that I'm thinking about this question. If you want to make stuff encrypted so that other people can't see it, but other people can, but only the people you want to can, you come up with a form of encryption that includes something called a key. A key is nothing more than a string of ones and zeros. It could be derived from a password or something like that, but it often isn't. And a key is what you plug into an algorithm to encrypt it. And if it's a symmetric algorithm, it's also what you plug in to decrypt it. What I would recommend, Richard, is check out some of my Security Plus videos. Isn't that the one where I do that full-blown DES? It's to actually watch the process of a symmetric block encryption go. The math itself isn't that terribly complicated. It's just very detailed, and it goes through a lot of processes. Right. But the math itself, it's not like they're asking you to do a Laplace transformation or anything like that. I mean, it's additions.
Or other things I've never heard of.
Liberal arts majors.
Yay! Go me.
So that would be what a key is. So Richard, now I'm going to throw the ball back to you. Hopefully that's helped, at least in terms about keys and blocks, but I'm going to need you to ask me more questions to be able to develop that more.
Okay, so then at 2:07, Edwin asks, hi Mike, or says, we're planning to reorganize IT at our company. What do you think are the most important points to pay attention to in relation to the business continuity plan? And he further says, we're a small company with a lot of IT, e-commerce, sales, warehouse, shipping, accounting. Well,
I mean, the first thing you're going to have to be doing is Because we're not just talking about IT security here, right? We're talking about, architecture and the whole shebang.
Yeah.
When you say you're not a very big company, that doesn't mean anything to me. That could be 3 people or 1,000 people. But unfortunately, within that group, it changes things a lot in terms of moving from a Soho type environment into a more enterprise type environment. The most important thing you're going to have to think about, I wouldn't even begin to think about business continuity at this point in the game. I'd be more interested in how do we get IT to the people who need it. That's usually mean you're going to have a chief information officer or somebody who plays that game. You need one person who's the head of IT. That doesn't necessarily mean it has to be the big boss of the company, but it does mean to have somebody who is in charge who can make decisions. And that's going to be the most important thing you're going to have to figure out at that point. This person needs to have a lot of experience in managing IT. And again, I really wish I had a better feel for how small your company was. I mean, if you had 500 people, then I would most quickly say CIOs are an easy thing to go for. If you've got 10 people, CIO is not going to happen. And in that case, in all honesty, I would seriously consider farming out. Cloud-based solutions today for very small offices are very, very attractive and wildly inexpensive. Getting even something as simple as Office 365 down to what's $12 a head, $13 a head per month. Why would you pay somebody $90,000 a year or 70 or what? I don't even know what they pay an administrator. Again, does he have 5 people or does he have 500?
He hasn't responded yet. We will follow up.
All right.
When he does. So, Akshay Padale says hi. Josh Dope, hey, good to see you. Reza Hossein, good day from Toronto.
I say good day, sir. I say good day. He's from Toronto, therefore he knows all about Letterkenny. Do you know what Letterkenny is?
Yeah, I've heard you mention Letterkenny, but I've never seen it.
Oh, it's the softest television show ever. It's a big Texas 10-4. I'm quoting Letterkenny.
Oh, okay.
He'll get it. My fellow Canadians will get that.
All right.
Take off, you hoser.
All right, so at 2:09, Santi asks a straight-up question that came from somewhere. A company finds that many desktops are being reported as missing or lost. Which of the following would best assist in recovering these devices? Asset tracking tags, motion detectors, security guards, or computer locks?
What are they trying to do with it?
They're recovering the devices.
Okay,
Stolen
so they're
devices.
already lost.
Right. Well,
Asset tracking
lost.
tags, probably.
That's what I would guess as well.
Security guards would have been nice before they got stolen.
As would
computer locks,
yeah.
motion detector, asset tracking tags.
So that's our answer.
Oh, this is good coffee. Somebody was
Okay.
like, coffee at 2 p.m.? I'm like,
CLW Chang has
I know him.
Has an interview. You got that?
Nope.
Oh.
I just said I know who CLW Chang is.
Okay.
Watch
It's
it.
really one of those days. Wow. Okay. Has an interview this afternoon.
Ah, all right. Well done, sir.
Yeah. So, and I remember you mentioning that the one who talks more loses in a job interview. What are some recommended questions that I should ask?
Well, CLW Chang, you should be researching the heck out of this company like right now.
Right.
Do you even know what they make? Oh, it's Siemens. No, that doesn't help. Where in Siemens are you working?
Yeah.
What's the job going to be? Do you guys hire? Do you guys take somebody and move them up? You promote.
Promote from within?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you promote from within? What else? That would probably be the first thing.
Ask a lot about break time.
Yeah. I'd be asking about. I would be looking at what the company does, and maybe do some research on them. Do they have a data center? What's in the data center? How is it organized? Again, I don't know what the job is. That's the more important question to ask me. I'm trying to think of generic questions that are safe.
I mean, things that I would look for are leading questions that leading question is not the right phrase. Because you've done your research on the company, you should have an idea of what the mission of the company is and what they're trying to accomplish, and you can ask a question like, it seems that this company is producing widgets to help people do this kind of stuff. How is that work proceeding? That way the interviewer can open up and go, oh, let me wax poetic about my company, right? And that gives you more information and more insight. And again, your interviewer is doing the talking. So, you
can always blow smoke. I love doing stuff like that. So I like to get all my work done. Is the office open on the weekends?
Is it okay if I work on the weekends from home as well?
Looks like you've been missing a lot of work. I wouldn't say I was missing it, Bob. Oh, God. You didn't watch Office Space?
No, I've never seen Office Space. I know. I've already turned in my nerd card, okay?
I didn't want to say anything. Not in front of Patricia. All right, what else we got here, Mike?
Well, Crazy Homebody Girl at 210 says, has a question. A security administrator is concerned that a user may have installed a rogue access point on the corporate network. Which of the following could be used to confirm this? UTM log, WAF log, switch log, or DLP log?
These questions make me very nervous.
Because they're coming from brain dumps, you know that.
Yeah. Probably UTM. UTM log would be my guess. Some threat management tool would probably be on top of that.
Yeah.
Let me look at the other ones real quick. Hold on.
Okay. And while you're doing that,
I don't even know what a WAF log is. WAF. Michael, answer yes or no to this. Do you know what a WAF log is?
He's got his earbuds in.
Oh, all right, good. Fine.
We actually have
UTM WAF logs.
Michael Smyer in the studio today.
Yeah,
He's ignoring us.
Yeah, he's listening to Coldplay.
There you go. Because nobody does that.
Yeah. Andrew Hutz. Mike, did you hear about the Colonial Pipeline hack? Yes, I did. I actually have some friends who work on Colonial Pipeline, and they won't tell me anything. It's...
Hush, hush.
Well,
don't air our dirty laundry.
I think what's going to be happening here is... what's far more concerning to me... Hang on a minute. If you guys read about this... Did you guys hear about... here in the United States, they're now allowing some judge at some level allowed a search warrant to go through, which is now allowing, I have not read this myself, so this is secondhand, I could be getting things wrong, that the Federal Bureau of Investigation can now go into any Exchange server without a warrant or anything, but only to get rid of this one little piece of malware. They can go in, clean that one piece of malware. It's a 0-day. Clean that, and then they have to leave. That is terrifying. First of all, if that's accurate, and I'm going to have to research that to verify that that's accurate, but it would be utterly unprecedented to allow law enforcement a carte blanche, what do you call it?
I don't
Michael Smyer is talking to
himself. He's mumbling.
Over there. Michael. If he starts taking his clothes off again, I'm not going to put up with it. I'm telling you. But seriously, this is a big concern and something I'm watching closely as soon as I get some real information on this, where a law enforcement can come in on a blanket, warrant like this, and they don't have to tell anybody, they don't have to do nothing. And that's terrifying. Now, they get into these sites, these Office 365s, because they know what the secret backdoor key is that the bad guy's using. So if they didn't know that if you were not under attack, then the FBI could not get into your Office 365. So that would be the first quick argument. It's like, well, we just type in this special backdoor password, and if we get in, we know the malware's there.
Wow. Okay.
So in other words, this is the first time that you're not even, it used to be you had to go download your own patches and patch them yourself. Remember service packs in Windows?
I do.
Yeah, well, you can't do that anymore. Or if you have Google, or if you have iOS, you're going to get patched whether you like it or not. And now, if you don't patch yourself fast enough or you have the audacity to pause it, you might have Uncle Sugar coming in. I don't know. Makes me nervous. It really does make me nervous. I don't think it's right.
It doesn't make me nervous at all.
It's because
you gotta have faith in Microsoft and Apple. And
it's not
Google.
even Microsoft or Apple. It's the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
I know a lot of FBI people. They're all universally, I was about to say cool, but that's not true, honorable.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Führer, he could dance. He made the trains run on time.
That was Mussolini. I honestly don't go in Mike's closets, Tullowit. No. I was traumatized once. Let's just leave it there.
It was really hard to get him to come out of the closet. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, right. So at 212, Arado85 says, first of all, thank you both for the amazing course videos. Greetings from the Netherlands.
He's from Belgium?
We have another one. I was wondering if there truly is an overlap in CompTIA content/exams. Overlap meaning you'll find...
Identical questions? Those days are over.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead.
There's
I'm
definitely...
going to be...
There's definitely overlap in content, but with a different focus. So for example, you can't do A+ certification, right, and be a computer tech today without knowing networking. So of course there's going to be a bunch of stuff that you learn as you're getting your A+ certification. It's going to carry over beautifully right into Network Plus. And you might even get quizzed on the same kind of stuff, but in a little more detail in Network Plus. The same thing with, you can't be a network technician or administrator without knowing security, right? Network security is important, so there's going to be some bleed over into Security Plus. And
I will, over the last 6 years, CompTIA has done a much better job of separating topics out better than they were doing before. When there are overlapping topics, they tend to be very lightly touched on one side and very heavily touched on the other one.
right.
On A+, for example, certificates are almost treated as a mystery thing that sometimes gives bad errors that you have to know how to deal with the errors.
Right. But in Network Plus,
Network Plus ignores certificates. It doesn't even go into them. I don't know what I consider right here, so I'm not going to say anything. Whereas with Security Plus, that's the first time you really break down X509 certificates and even explain really what they are. But all three of those exams bring up the word certificates, but they're handled differently. So I would say they do a pretty good job of keeping questions separated, but certainly topics overlap.
right. So we don't have any answers on the pipeline thing, or even what tech the federal government or the not the federal government. That pipeline's not owned by the feds.
I don't think so. It's
No,
privately owned.
Privately owned.
Yeah.
They're probably using decent tech, but so are the bad guys. So
Well, the Colonial Pipeline basically supplies all the fuel to the East Coast of the United States.
yeah.
So it is a big deal. Dave, I'm not against people posting practice test questions. It's okay. Dave, go ahead and let people ask questions like that. The only thing I get nervous about is when you post a practice question, is that if somebody has gone into a brain dump, or if they're actually looking, or they're actually some, or even worse, straight up stolen questions. I want to avoid that.
Yeah.
Luckily, I have them all memorized. Da-da-dum-dum-dum.
Deloitte. Yeah, my handwriting is also atrocious and has gotten worse over the years.
So Scott and I are looking for questions, guys, so bear with us. Mike Meyers is the gold standard for Security Plus 501. Hoorah! I was so entertained he had to watch the video twice. That's not really what he said, but yeah. That's
The
how I
gold
choose to
standard.
interpret it.
Okay, so Crazy Homebody Girl, I'm going to go back up to her question because she's needs more explanation.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Let me find her question again. How to find which log type to find when you're which log type to use when you're trying to find a rogue access point. And
I'm still pretty sure it's a UTM would be the best guess.
Why?
I mean,
that's
well, because UTM is good. I would now if it had said IPS log or something, that might have been even better, but it didn't
Right.
give me that as an option.
Nope.
Unified Threat Management is the closest of the questions, of the answers that I saw, and looking at them quickly, that would be the only one that would be looking for weird things. In Cisco, for example, you can do port security such that everybody knows the MAC address of the DHCP server, or if you have a backup DHCP server, everybody knows that MAC address as well. And if you were to pop in another thing that started doing DHCP and did not have that MAC address, that would show up under a Unified Threat Management log. None of the others that in fact, of the other three options, one of them I think was just a bogus YAP log. I never even heard of that one. So that would be the reason I would say that. And the reason Crazy Homebody Girl is Unified Threat Management is, remember what Unified Threat Management is, right? Unified Threat Management is firewall and IDS and IPS and SIEM and all these other things put together in one big happy package. So that would be the only one that I would know for a fact that would even have a chance of having port security. Rogue access points are not the easiest things in the world to find unless you have some form of active monitoring on it. The only real clue you'd have would be that some of your clients would suddenly be spinning up a completely different IP address. But to put that on an internal network is also tricky because in order to get out, unless they're like VLANing in it or something like that, or VPNing, you usually only have one connection out. So even the rogue access point would have to be able to give a default gateway as your actual default gateway.
So she actually, Crazy Homebody Girls answered UTM, but then the question was marked wrong.
Well,
So, and WAF, Web Application Firewall. According to Edwin.
Web application firewall? I don't know. See, Crazy Homebody Girl, here's the thing you got to keep in mind. Nobody knows all the right answers to every possible question there is. First of all, because you're showing me this question as a one that you are challenged on, that shows me that you know your stuff, because there's probably hundreds of other questions you didn't bother bringing up today. The fact that I still stand by Unified Threat Management. So whoever you got this question from, I would love to have a chance to speak with them in detail, and we would talk about this. I think I have some compelling points to stick with. UTM. Web access firewall? No way.
Web application.
Well, definitely not then, right? Because I mean, that's going to literally be sitting on the.
At 216, you didn't actually finish the
Go ahead.
comment that Jean Dorepal made. Not only is the gold standard, watched the series twice, but he also passed Security Plus on Saturday. So
Well done, Jean.
Andre wants to get paid because he's here every day, and he passed through COVID with no symptoms. So
Good.
That's awesome.
Glad. I'll take your new Security Plus book as payment.
I know. I promised, and suddenly I'm like, oh, shipping is gonna be amazing. And it's not a Total Seminars book, so it's out of my pocket.
Ching.
Yep.
Krampus dumpling. Wasn't there on Rick and Morty? There was a assassin. Well, here I go murdering again. I thought his name was Chronopolis Michael. Are any Rick and Morty fans out there can help me? Every time I see Krampus dumpling, I think about that insect guy from Rick and Morty. I'm sure you're a big Rick and Morty fan, right? Ah, jeez.
These cultural references are lost on me.
It's not even cultural.
I don't even know what it is.
See, Reza knew what Letterkenny was, at least.
Yeah, I saw that.
Chris A. Young actually saw. You went to Letterkenny Live. I've heard about those shows. I never did go. How you do now? Oh,
It's lost on me.
you're worthless and weak.
Well, you know. But I look good doing it. There was another.
What is Santee 24? Santee 247365. That's what I said, and I still think. But everywhere I look, CompTIA says it's the computer locks. So this is the only problem with this paradigm, Scott Jernigan, is I don't remember what we were. Oh, the asset tracking, motion detection, security guards, computer locks. All right, well, Santee, this is another one of those. How can a computer lock help
recover devices? That
recover?
doesn't make any
It
sense.
said recover, all right? Where are we at, dude?
I don't know. I was scrolling back up.
So call 220-ish.
So at 218, Krampus said she. I started studying Security Plus, some fun stuff. Do I have to memorize the different ciphers, or does just having an understanding on how they work enough?
You need to memorize the different ciphers, but pretty lightly. In terms of block ciphers, know that DES, triple DES, and AES are all block ciphers, and AES is pretty much used everywhere exclusively now. I don't even think you need to know about RC4 for stream. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. For streaming ciphers, the only streaming cipher is RC4, and that's only used in WPA anyway. Is there any place else where RC4 is used? I can't think of anything quickly. I'm sure there is. But yeah, you got to memorize and your port numbers. This always bugs me when people are like, how do I memorize port numbers? It's because, you memorize port numbers if your practice questions are like, HTTPS runs on which port number, right? Then you'd memorize port numbers.
Right.
I got to be careful I say this. You wouldn't just sit here, the only reason to do flashcards to memorize port numbers, not to remember the protocol, not to remember what it does, not to remember anything.
Right, but just to memorize them.
Just to, is if you have questions like that. You're not going to see very many questions on Security Plus that's going to ask you, DNS uses port, then you get 4 choices. What they're going to do instead is you're going to get log files, and they're going to report different ports doing this, that, or the other, and you're going to have to use those port numbers to help you zero in on what's going on, right? So if you're getting a port 443, you're not exactly looking for remote desktop protocol problems.
Right.
So you have to do more than just memorize protocols to pass Security Plus, folks. You have to understand what those protocols do. You have to understand what SNMP is. You have to understand 3 different types of secure FTP, Mm-hmm. You can't just memorize port numbers. I mean, it's important to know the port numbers. That's like, well, in order to drive your car, I need to memorize the license plate. Well, I mean, it wouldn't hurt. Find it in the parking lot, but it's only a part of the picture.
So.
Yes. Hey, man, I'm just going to sit back. Come in.
Okay,
Feed
so
me a question, Beulah.
222. Gosh, I'm going to butcher your name.
Is it Gregor's again?
Yeah. Okay, any suggestions for a first job in IT with A+ cert? And some people have already answered them that help desk is a great starting point. Any other suggestions? Or
Get any job.
anything that pays the bills.
Anything
was
that
the
pays
other
the bills.
suggestion.
Sales jobs are fine.
Yeah.
There's such a demand for people right now. I mean, anybody who breathes in oxygen and exhales carbon dioxide and has even a hint of bilateral symmetry and can put sentences together could be working in Houston within 2 weeks of them showing up. That would be like at the $17, $18 an hour starter range, but of course that goes up quickly. Gregors, don't get on Indeed or Linda or whatever it is and type in entry level and go for everything. The big mistake people make more than anything else is they don't do 200 resumes. Average person these days, in order to get an entry level job, puts out about 200 resumes. Maybe a little less than that, but that's what you need to do. See, Krampus Dumpling believes in coffee at all hours, as do
All
I.
hours, that's right. Andre and Arato are speaking
Esperanto.
Dutch, one would assume. Jeremiah is taking Core 1 on Wednesday. Good luck. It's exciting.
Yes, good luck to you, Jeremiah.
So Dave Rush posted the link to the unofficial Total Seminars Discord channel. This is a slightly wilder environment than our AMAs. So hosted by our good friend Jose Braden. It's definitely not a Total Seminars product, although Mike and I and Dave Rush, who's in the background as our moderator today, and also has his own show on Fridays, we show up and it's a way of connecting with you guys so that we can see your faces and interact directly. So we tend to show up for a little while after the AMAs, and people are on all the time. Several hundred people already in the community, and lots of great texts and great questions asked and answered. So it's a good environment and fun. I have to warn you though, the language is a little saltier.
Salty language.
Keisha Green is here.
Keisha.
Tanya Jackson. So at 2:25. Hi, William. Okay. And Richard Bro, follow up to my key question. I now understand the block, but keys are still confusing. Using AES, I seem to be having a problem when I see a 128-bit block cipher, 256-bit key. What does it do?
AES has a 256-bit key? Well, they'll split them up, is really all it boils down to. It's not that complicated, Richard. Usually it's the opposite way, where I'll see a 256-bit block cipher in a shorter key, and you can literally, you take the 256-bit block, and you take half and you just shove it off and don't do anything with it. Mm-hmm. And you do all the encryption on one half, right? And then you put them back together and spin them 180 degrees and run them again. In fact, you run them like 14 times. So there doesn't have to be a perfect lineup of key to block size in order for this stuff to work. Also, if the block size is longer than the key, then you can just keep applying the key.
Okay. So Quabena at 2:26, Quabena Akins asks, is there anything better than ZenMap? And Edwin, of course, immediately posted Nmap. Is anything better than ZenMap?
ZenMap's not even supported anymore. Right. So if you're going to be using Nmap, I'm not aware of any graphical tools for Nmap right now. I use ZenMap. In fact, I got ZenMap I used it on videos for the last Security Plus. And I mean, it still works kind of, sort of. It's still in Kali, but it's not supported.
Okay.
Which is too bad because ZenMap was a nice little graphical interface for
Yeah,
Nmap, and
it was nice.
for smaller stuff, I found it wonderfully convenient. I am not aware of a graphical front end for Nmap. Although, man, that would sure be.
So,
Go ahead, Scott. I'm going to type in graphical front end for Nmap while you're.
and Dave is disagreeing in the back channel. He says ZenMap is still supported. So, and typo. Mike, typo king.
Yeah,
Why
but
he can't find anything on the internet because he doesn't know how to spell.
yeah, Dave, I'm not so sure you're right. Last I had checked, ZenMap was no longer being. Got to be careful here because this is how everybody gets out of things. Is it supported? Maybe. Is it being developed anymore? I don't think so.
So at 2:30, that's when Dave posted the Discord link, and that's a semi-permanent link. Okay, this one's a question for me. At 2:28, William Jeske asks, the ITF Plus textbook says in Chapter 5, it's been 2.5 years since we wrote that, that CompTIA doesn't emphasize the command line for the ITF Plus certification. Which certification relies heavily on the command line? You'll find the command line covered extensively on an A+, Network Plus. You need to know command line commands and Security Plus. That you should just, it is an essential tool for all techs, William. So learn it. The sooner the better. That's my advice on the command line.
I like it.
Okay. Crazy Homebody Girl at 2:30. Can you explain the difference between what is done in containment and what is done in the eradication portion of the incident response process?
I hate that process so bad. I don't believe in it. I tell people,
tell us how you really feel,
just
Mike.
memorize it for the damn exam. It's not a well-established industry thing, just like the old PC troubleshooting. I swear CompTIA just invents this stuff. But I think, what did she say? Eradication versus containment?
Yep.
Was that the thing?
Yep.
I mean, that's fairly straightforward in that particular case. Eradication means you're getting rid of it. You're, wiping out the naughtiness in one way or another. You're using anti-malware to clean out some malware. You're wiping a system and restoring a fresh image to clear out whatever happened. That's the eradication part. The isolation, was that the word?
Eradication or containment?
Containment basically just means you don't want it to
Unplugging the
spread out.
computers.
Yeah, that's exactly what it means,
Yeah.
is unplugging your network cabling or disabling your network card or whatever it has to do to contain whatever it might be.
To stop the spreading. Yes. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you actually like the stream. We don't monetize the stream, but it helps other people find the content. We do index, thanks to Dave Rush doing a lot of the work in the background. We index the content that's covered, so when Mike has a special topic, those show up in searches, and it's useful for future viewers.
Oh, that's right. Guys, I was supposed to do load balancing today.
What? Wait.
I didn't. I'm not ready.
Wait. Well, hold on.
I'm not ready to do it.
You were supposed to do what that. Are you about to disappoint all of those people?
Yes.
Mike.
I got it started, and then I was like, I'll go do something else. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, it's 15 minutes before and I was like, so like I tell the IRS every year, I forgot. So I promise I'll do it. I will do load balancing on Wednesday, and it'll be a great show. I've got half of a great PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
So
Did you hear that collective sigh of disappointment?
Yeah, we'll give away extra stuff. So everybody does know we're working on a Network Plus book, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we are currently working on the N10008 8th edition.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, right. Of Network Plus. We're still under NDA, unfortunately, so we can't tell you what's on the exam because we know it. Nor do we have a definitive date for when the new exam is going to go live, but we expect it to be somewhere early fall.
With all those caveats that my editor-in-chief just threw out there, the one thing I will say about the upcoming Network Plus is that it is very much an incremental change. It's not a big dramatic change like we saw with, I don't know, I'd say the last A Plus was a pretty big change.
It was a big change.
But load balancing is a thing. There you go. I'll say that. How does that sound? Load balancing is a thing.
Load balancing is a thing, yes.
Do your friends around here save up their text messages
Just
until
when
you get
I'm on a live
online?
stream? Yeah, absolutely.
I get the same thing. I think they think it's funny. It's like when a waiter comes up to you with your mouths full. How is okay.
And when I was a waiter in college, I would do that on purpose. Just kidding.
So Jean Dorival at 241, logs. And I completely agree. The thing about Security Plus and logs, though, isn't so much memorizing the logs.
Yeah.
It's because like the logs they're going to give you are samples, okay? And you have to go in there and you have to look at you're going to look at a log and you have no idea where this log came from. And you shouldn't care because the question's going to say stuff that's, the question's going to say stuff that'll give you a clue about what to look for in a log. Because a log's still going to have an IP address to, an IP address from, I guess if it's an IP-based log, right? Mm-hmm. And it's going to say, why was this logged? Is it a failed login? Is there somebody trying to do naughty? So a lot of times, it's not so much memorizing logs, because that's a waste of time. It's memorizing what is DHCP going to be doing, you know?
Right.
Where's the 4-step process? Or here's DNS, I've sent out a query, nothing's come back. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so you can use clues like that to help you zero in on the answers. It's not a matter of memorizing a bunch of logs at all. Wow.
So Crazy Homebody Girl mentioned that the question is from Professor Messer, the log question.
All right, so Crazy Homebody Girl, talk to Professor Messer on that. He's a sharp guy. In a lot of ways, I'd say he's a better tech than I am. I'm glad to hear it comes from Professor Messer and not from some
brain dump.
But Crazy Homebody Girl, even with that, look, the problem is you're in late stage studying now. You're getting towards the end of it. You're just going to have some questions that are punts, okay? D for diploma, right? And people get really obsessed because, I mean, Crazy Homebody Girl's been studying for a while, right? So now we're really looking to fine-tune that studying. And here's a question that me and Professor Messer, to be honest with you, I'll bet you a nickel if I saw the exact question, I might have a different answer, but you never know. Or if you ask Professor Messer, he might be going, never really liked that question. I think it's UTM. So if you're looking for like these ultimate, like you're answering 2 + 2 = blank, it ain't that way. And the important thing to do is that when just be comfortable that you have enough skills now that you can bring up a question like that to a bunch of people confidently and challenge it. But, I can't guarantee that, is there a question like that on the exams? I don't know. I wouldn't tell you if I knew. Does Professor Messer have some inside line? He's a pretty honest guy. I doubt that he would ever do that. Is it close to something? I don't know. I wouldn't tell you if I knew. But the important thing is that there's going to be some differences sometimes, and that's literally proof to you that you're at the end stage of your studying. Throw the question away. Here, watch this. Flush. And move on, all right? You're not going to get a consensus, Crazy Homebody Girl. I know, but it's not math. There's room for opinions in there. Where's my soapbox?
No, Teacher Russell, I have not watched Office Space yet. I'm still watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Is what I'm watching.
God. Oh, Choco Taco, those are not minimum wages. They just pay pretty good in Houston. EMH passed, this is
Where are you?
243. Passed his 1001 on Friday. Thank you guys. Thank you,
Hey.
sir.
Congratulations.
Now go past that 1002. Get a job. Get a job. You hippies.
Zach is here. Hey, Zach.
Dun, dun, dun.
Andrew Hutz. Port 443, you know.
That's always, yeah.
Someday it's
when
going
in
to be
doubt,
right.
One day it is. Even a broken clock's right twice a day. I was doing that
Unless
Scottish.
it's a 24-hour clock.
No, I was doing the Scottish accent for Zach because he's Scottish.
Ah, yeah. I thought he was from Liverpool. I thought he was from...
Isn't that all the same? I know he likes Scotch tape.
It's a cast of thousands characters.
We're all here. Try the veal. All right.
He'll be here all night. Okay, so Saidu Kone,
Time.
2:41. Hi,
Right.
Mike. Find your soapbox. Find your soapbox. You ready? I want to get in cybersecurity field. After A+, should I do Network Plus first, or should I just go for Security Plus? Is this me buzzing like
No,
crazy?
it's me, but I'm going to ignore it. You can't. I have a hard time believing anybody can pass Security Plus without Network Plus certification or the equivalent knowledge therein. It's because the Security Plus just assumes you know what DHCP and DNS is. They just talk about the problems with it. Security Plus just assumes you know. Well, no, I was going to say they don't assume that you know symmetric versus asymmetric because they teach it in there.
Right.
But the bottom line is that I think Network Plus is very important. Network Plus is the most important certification you'll never use.
Or if you just get Network Plus certified and go to Indeed.com and search for Network Plus certification, you'll find a ton of job openings.
Who said that?
Me. We fact check you, man.
Prove it.
That's not my monitor.
Here, prove it. I'll talk to the
Don't touch
guys.
my screen. Get thee behind me.
Okay. And while Scott's doing whatever, are you really going to try to do that?
I'm going to do this.
Nah,
yes.
don't bother.
All right.
I don't believe you anyway.
Great. The faith in his editor. So we did EMH.
I'm at 243. I'm scrolling, looking for questions.
Okay.
Lots of @ signs here.
Yeah, and that's fine. Having conversations amongst yourselves is great. This is also what we do on Discord, have running conversations. Crumbo Bulos Michael, the assassin.
I'm way ahead of you. Crumbopolis Michael from Rick and Morty, and the anti-Santa half-demon Krampus. Krampus is, our European friends could tell you all about this.
Okay. I will look forward to the conversation on Discord.
He's kind of like a dark Santa. People from Belgium really like him.
Zach, you're from Manchester, right?
Isn't Manchester in Scotland?
Might be in Ireland.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, and now I'll make the Dave Rush joke. Zach, Liverpool is very close to where you are because you're in England. England is tiny.
England is tiny. You could put like 5 Englands in Texas.
Yep. Joshua M at 258. Did I super scroll?
No, we're on the same I have it at 248. What do you not like about the CompTIA A+ troubleshooting theory? Because I think it's very difficult. I want to make sure I can answer this. In the automotive world, when you want to talk about certifications, get into auto mechanics, man. Those guys, they have 2005 Dodge Charger brake certification. I mean, they got lots of certifications. And well, I think the thing is that the evolution of automobiles is not that dramatic, say, compared to the evolution of computers. So because you don't have that great of an evolution of technology, they can create paths for troubleshooting this, that, or the other. But I don't think that's valid for PCs, especially help me. Here, the last one in troubleshooting theory I love, document everything. I'm with you on that one.
Right.
Okay, but the rest, I don't know, it's just...
Troubleshooting for me, having a rigid set of things that you have to memorize for the exam, okay, and it's a good starting point, but the real question is, the real way to do troubleshooting well is to understand all of the systems and how they interact, and then when you run into a problem, you simply ask what could cause that problem, and don't limit yourself to just, oh, it's probably the power supply. As soon as you say it's probably X, it means you're limiting your thinking. Instead, just go, what can it be? And then run through the different possibilities. Try the easy things first, but don't immediately reject. That's my...
Right. I'm not against that. I'm more of the top-down, bottom-up kind of guy.
Yeah.
So if there's an error that I instantly see and react and know, that's just because I've done stuff a lot, then I go and fix those. But that's rare. Most of the time, if I see some kind of error, it's going to point me in the direction of the problem, because I don't run into tons of errors that I haven't seen before. I mean, I've seen tons of errors I haven't seen before, but of that ilk. How does that sound?
Okay.
All right. So usually what I'll do at that point is I'll go look at whatever that part of the system, is giving me problems. Or I'll be reading error codes to try to zero in on that particular issue. But let's say that doesn't get there, okay? A lot of times I'll go ahead and do a bottom up, which means, all right, so the system's running, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just kind of march through that.
Sure.
Or I'll do a top down sometimes. It's that, okay, so this error could point towards these three things. But, and then of course the other one I'm going to do 9 times out of 10 is I'm just going to type the error directly into Google and see what pops up.
Google it!
You kids don't know how good you got it!
Oh my gosh. Okay, so at 2:50, Matt H. asked, what actually is a modem?
It's a flower dying in the desert. Star Trek? You don't even do Star Trek?
I do Star Trek. I just didn't think it was funny.
Oh. Et tu, Brute? Then die, Caesar. What was the question here?
What's a modem? And that's a loaded question.
A modem stands for modulator demodulator. It's designed to take analog signals and convert them into digital signals. Basically to take an analog waveform and turn it into binary. So it's actually a two-part. You have the modem, which does the digitizing, and then the
ramp back.
Is it the ramp DAC? No, that's for video cards.
Oh, good God, I haven't used one of these in so long.
Where's Dave Rush when we need him?
What the?
He'll punch it in a minute.
Yeah, he'll punch it in.
So a modem consists of the serial port is the...
Dave is typing it.
He's typing like a...
Because he's like, you guys are idiots and you've forgotten what a real modem is.
Now he's using acronyms. ADC, analog digital conversion, digital analog conversion.
That's not what I'm thinking of.
The problem that we run into with modems more than anything else is that the only thing that's truly a modem is something that's converting an analog signal to digital and digital to analog. The problem we have is that the term modem gets stuck in the weirdest places.
As in cable modem.
Yeah, it's a terminal adapter if you really want to be right, but I say that and I'm technically correct, but I have no friends. Right. So there isn't anything. Is there anything left in our world that's analog on a PC?
Well, there's still plenty
of
rural connections that still use regular modems. Old school.
I got to tell you, like out in the hill country in Texas, they're using 802.11.
Really? Nice.
802.11.
Just straight up wireless.
And that's most of Central Texas. There's a couple of carriers out there that,
Okay.
they're basically, they know that even in the middle of the hill country, this is Austin, Texas area, even in the middle of the hill country, everybody still wants cell phones, so they have the cell towers, and it's just regular 802.11. It's not even a weird one like WiMAX or any of that weird stuff. Remember those? Mm-hmm. It's not. It's just 802.11. And they, my goodness, people are texting at me a lot.
Tell them to stop, Mike.
I can't.
Or just ignore your phone.
So this is my buddy Mario. I used to hang out with him. Mario, get online. I'm online right now. All right. All right, where are we at, buddy? EMH at 248. Is it better to learn command line or PowerShell? PowerShell. PowerShell is a superset of command line.
Right.
And inarguably, is it command line? I don't know if I like the way EMH separates that. Command line or PowerShell. He means the command shell or PowerShell.
He means...
I know it is, yeah, batch files.
Learn both. And throw in terminal too.
DIR works in both of them just fine.
But not in terminal.
Andrew Hutz, if you've got your A+, do you really need to do Net Plus before Sec Plus? I would, yes. Now Andrew Hutz...
Yeah, hold on, because
go ahead.
Andrew already has a ton of networking experience. That's why when he says, I'm not seeing any gaps, I just jump from A+ straight to Security Plus, because you already have the knowledge. That's the important part, right? Having the networking knowledge to make that jump. We've had people jump straight into Security Plus, but they've been working with computers and networks for a while and already have the underlying knowledge. So you can do it.
I've seen people do it. I just don't agree with it. But again, because Andrew has a lot of networking knowledge. Remember, I always said you need the Network Plus or equivalent knowledge.
Right.
Matt H., in the UK, we never use the word modem.
What do you call a cable modem?
Oh, it's going to have some god-awful name,
A terminal adapter.
A torch. Suspenders. A lift. A lorry. Come on, help me with weird British terms.
I'm sure Zach is going to tell me. And it'll be fine.
Okay. Joshua M. at 252. Could you briefly explain ISDN, please? Okay, I'll make it real quick. ISDN is a over 20-year-old technology. It was the first time that we began to see digital make it to the last mile. It was the first digital telephone you could get. In fact, it was the only digital telephone you could get because by then we went to mobile. ISDN works at, can I still do this? It runs at 128 kilobits per second, which sounds ridiculously slow. But number one, it was digital, so there was no analog to digital conversion that took place. And the other thing that was pretty cool about it is that it had a telephone number associated with it. So you could have a fully digital phone system in your home that you could then plug your computers into. So there was no mating call or any of that stuff. It was designed more for point-to-point connectivity, yet at the same time to support the concept of telephones. ISDN, every time I try to tell everybody that ISDN is dead, I discover that there's this entire industry of voice-over work that's done for commercials, that they set something up with ISDN terminal adapters a gazillion years ago, and they're still using them today. Last time I checked, which was probably about 3 years ago, you could still get ISDN for most telephone providers. You have to dig deep to find it.
All right.
So that's ISDN. It's digital. It has a phone associated with it. So you could have a phone number, and it's it was 64K or 128, but almost nobody used the BRI. Oh man, we're digging really deep here. I've already said way more than we need to.
Yep.
He's unsure about the channels aspect. All right, well, keep in mind that 64K is kind of a magic number, and it always has been. So 64K is kind of a good multiplier to allow analog devices in baud to be able to generate a fairly human-sounding voice. They started at 4K? We're really going way back here. Anyway, so what?
I think it was 400 to 3,200 kilohertz was the toll rate for phones. It was an 8-bit ELAW.
Do you have a gun? Do you have a
So
gun?
I'm serious. Michael Smyer is here in the studio with
Yeah,
us.
here, Michael Smyer, come over and stick your head and say hi to people for us, will you?
There really is Mike Myers and Mike Smyers. So there you go.
All right, now tell them what you just told me. Come on in, man. Come on.
Trying to remember. Let's see. ISDN was really just a digital phone line to your house. The 64K was because you needed precisely 64K to carry phone. Literally, all the bits that would be required to carry your voice over a phone line.
But then that was a multiplier because the old T1 lines had.
T1s were just a bundle of ISDN lines.
Yes, that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it was like 24, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 24.
Yeah.
But that 64K piece
Yeah.
was a very, very important piece for
'Cause it was,
from the 70s when we digitized all the trunk lines.
Well, yeah, they call it toll quality. So it was the quality that Ma Bell decided that they could carry the most number of phone lines over their network with acceptable quality, and so they digitally matched the actual frequency range that they were moving over phone lines at the time. So
Very good. Michael, thank you so much, buddy.
no problem.
All right.
Michael is our systems administrator, among many other hats that he wears. And he's also a complete computer history fanatic.
He also likes dressing in a kilt and plays his bagpipes. What?
I have a kilt. I have two.
I have to have two kilts because one doesn't fit. No. Okay, let's get some questions in here.
I scrolled all the way to the end.
Well done, sir.
I know. I am scrolling all the way back. It is 3:14 p.m. right now.
You want to sneak in a quick?
I think we should sneak in a little contest.
All right, let's do a contest. All right, guys, go ahead, Scott, while I'm queuing up.
So the contest, and this will be for practice test questions that are accessible online, so anybody anywhere in the world can actually win this for 180 days. Access to A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, ITF Plus, for that matter, if you need those. Several things to keep in mind. One, the contests are not fair, right? We do the best we can, but it's just, yeah. Two, Mike's going to put up a question with a series of answers. Don't just type in the letter, but type out the entire answer. Three, the first correct answer that pops up in my feed, not your feed, will be picked as the winner. And four, what's fourth?
There is no 4. 5 is right out.
Oh, right. And 6 is if you want to play but don't want to win, go ahead and just type in your answer and then type the word pass.
Pass, yeah, just type in the word pass. I know a lot of you guys are repeaters. All right, so anyway, let's go ahead and start this. This is a Security Plus question.
Oh boy, okay. We're going.
I'm actually picking an easy one. I
Going
think
hardcore.
I think this is pretty easy. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. Okay, guys, read the question. I'm not going to read it. Okay, fine, I'll read it. Your organization communicates client healthcare data to several medical centers. Which of the following regulatory compliance policies applies to your organization? And of course, this is just for the USA. Geez. And everybody gets it. That question was way too easy. That's clearly got to be HIPAA. I'm not even going to bother. Yeah, I'll look. Check your answer. I'm correct. Yay. HIPAA. HIPAA.
And almost everybody got the...
That was too easy.
So
do we have a winner, Scott Jernigan?
We do. We have a winner in Carla Rain.
Carla Rain?
Yep.
All right, Carla Rain, congratulations. Carla, you have won your choice of A+, Net Plus, or Security Plus practice questions. Now, in order to get your prize, you need to contact Kathy Yale of our office. So there's her email address. It's kathyy@totalsem.com. And now, in that email, Carla, you have to type in your YouTube name. Whatever name you're using here in this, you have to use there or you won't get your prize. And then the second thing, you have to tell her which practice exam you wish to have. So just let her know, A+, Net Plus, Security Plus, and you are set. So Carla Rain, congratulations to you. Well done, young lady. Let's do it again. That was fun.
And Carla says, awesome, thanks.
All
You're
right.
welcome. That's awesome.
In fact, I got a hard one. In fact, I don't know what the answer is to this one quickly.
Ooh, okay, all right.
Let's throw it at the kids. All right, guys, this is a challenging question. It's not so much a challenging question, it's just certain things you got to know. So let's see what happens. You guys, take a whack at that one. Which of the following statements best defines the recovery point objective?
And you got a lot of typing to do. Typos are allowable, by the way.
Pretty sure I know the answer on this one. See, nobody's throwing answers down. They got to think about it for a minute as a change of pace.
That or they're all typing frantically.
Oh, yeah, this is the tough one. No.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, give a minute. We're getting some people are typing in answers.
Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. I was just trying to kill the dead air. That's all. Filling it with witticisms and classicisms. People are finally typing fast enough. This is good. And Crazy Homebody Girl probably answering the same for everyone, or most people. I didn't feel like typing all that. Nice. Right? I know. You can hear us on the screen. This is good.
All right, let's see. I'm pretty sure that the whoops. God, I'm a little okay. The recovery point objective. So that's it's data measured in terms of time. It's got to be D. The RPO is the here. Let me put that back up so everybody else can see it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the RPO is the maximum allowable amount of data measured in terms of times that the organization can afford to lose during a disaster or an incident. Let's see. I could be wrong here, guys. Okay, D is correct. Yay! All right. All right, Scott, do we have a winner there?
CLW Chang has the RPO as the max amount of time.
But he passed.
Oh, max amount of time to be down. And what's the answer? Maximum amount
Well, it's
of
measured in
data.
terms of time.
measured in terms of time.
A day's worth of data,
Yep.
a week's worth of data.
So that would move on to maximum amount of time the organization can afford to be down from normal processing.
Nope.
Okay. And leave it to Telewit to throw in a witticism. Excellent. No, okay, well, hold on.
A and C pass. The right answer was D.
The right answer is D. I'm not. Hold on, come on, man. Minimum amount of data, maximum amount of data, minimum. Oh, that was A. Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. Go back. Go back. What happened? I'm thinking Choco Taco's got it. Keep in mind, Scott, everybody's typing really fast here, okay?
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'm not looking for anybody to get this, verbatim. I think it's Choco Taco, but you, Scott Jernigan, will pick the winner that he wants.
I did say this wasn't fair, right?
This is not a fair competition, guys.
Time for normal processing. All right.
I gotta go to the bathroom. No, I'm kidding.
Sure.
All right, Choco Taco, you are the winner. Congratulations. Well done. It's tricky because some of the phrasing.
There was a lot of things to type.
Yeah. It sounded better. All right, so anyway, Choco Taco, congratulations to you for winning. In order to claim your prize, you have to send an email to Kathy Yale of our office. That's Kathy with a K, KATHYY at total7.com. So when you send that, there's her email right there. Send her an email. Tell her you're the second winner today. Be sure to type in your YouTube name. Your YouTube name must match the YouTube name that you're using in here right now or you don't win. And then also say which practice exam you wish to have. Let her know. You want A+, Net+, Security+? I guess we could even do like CASP, CYSA and stuff like that too.
Pen Test Plus and everything.
Okay. So you could take any practice question out of the Total Seminars catalog.
Right.
Not too shabby.
And anywhere in the world. So that's cool.
Okay, where are we at,
All
dude?
right. So we left off on questions right around 258.
Hang on. 257, Matt H. Do you ever speak with Professor Messer? I did used to speak with him years ago. I haven't spoken to him in a number of years. I think he's a great guy. Hold on, we got another one. The fish stick says, howdy.
So 257, Joshua M. had a question. Just to confirm, a BIOS administrator password locks up the settings within BIOS, whereas a user password locks up the entire machine and prevents unauthorized access.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Keep in mind that the term BIOS is fading as a
Right.
as a term. It's really more like a system setup. It tends to be one of the more common terms these days, but it's BIOS. Heck, it's really CMOS if you want to be effective to what it used to be. System setup.
System setup.
EMH, how much does the 1002 ask about Macs? Not much.
This is at 257.
257 from EMH.
Yeah. You might get a couple of questions
Yeah.
on Mac, maybe a couple on Linux. You'll get a lot more in Network Plus. So,
Absolutely. All right, so where are we at? Joshua M at 258. What's the difference between RAID 0 plus 1 and RAID 1 plus 0? We usually almost never say the term 1 plus 0. We usually say the term RAID 10. One is a mirror of stripes, and the other one is a stripe of mirrors. That's it.
Yeah.
So with one of them, you always have 4 drives, right?
Minimum. Yeah.
Minimum. So, so you take the mirror and then you stripe them, or then you take the stripes and then you mirror them.
Right.
That's all. That's the only difference. Crooked JS. Got any advice for CYSA? I just started studying. Keep studying. The CYSA is a challenging exam. It really is.
It just refreshed, I think, like not long ago.
Yeah, it did. It did refresh.
Yeah.
It's a pretty aggressive and it's a very technical exam. God, I haven't taken it since it came out. Study hard, get lots of practice questions. Those would be the big things to say.
So Joshua M. at 3 o'clock asks, if SCSI is faster than SATA, then why isn't it widely adopted amongst thick client desktops and not just servers?
Money for sure, but are we saying that? So classic parallel SCSI's gone.
Right.
So we have SAS.
Yeah.
And is it still true that they're faster than parallel? Yes, absolutely they were. But it was money. It was money more than anything else. Most people don't have to have that much firepower in their homes.
Right. And now, of course, with SSDs, I mean, why do anything else? Just pay up, Meyers. Come on.
I am seeing a lot of motherboards now that have 2 and even 3 M.2 slots on them, though,
Yep.
which is pretty cool.
It is cool.
I've
Makes me want to upgrade my motherboard, because mine only has 1 slot.
Oh, geez.
I know.
Snurf, 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 snurf. Joshua M. Why is it important to ground yourself when disassembling computer components? So you don't trash them and then have to pay for them.
Because
You started it.
the problem is you can have a electrostatic discharge on components that you can't feel, but that can actually damage the computer. So it's not like the zap that you get when you are walking across a carpet in the wintertime and you hit the doorknob and you see a spark fly. Electrostatic discharge can be way lower than what a human can feel, but can still damage computer components. So if you are in a dry, cold climate with heaters going, static electricity is a very, very real and present danger. If you're down here in Houston working on stuff in the high humidity, and it's not such a big deal. But yeah, if you're up north, it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Joshua M. Saw your video on the difference between VPNs and proxies. Thanks a lot. You're welcome.
Where are you at?
Where are you at? 305. Kirk versus Gorm. Dun 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 dun. John Lehman. I got the phrase modulator demodulator modem from your Network Plus series. Double M. I'm double M.
Double M?
Double M.
Double M. Oh, that. You
What?
know, Mike, you'll never be hip. I'm just saying. You'll never be hip.
Just go ahead and do the rest without me, Mr. Unhip. Just to confirm, primary difference between the real-time operating system and baseband OS in a phone is that the baseband is responsible for wireless communications.
What?
Joshua? I don't know. Just to confirm, primary difference between the real-time operating system and base... Joshua, this question is coming from a faraway place. Joshua, do me a favor. Send me an email about this particular question and where you're getting that from. God, if that's coming from one of my books, I'm going to be like,
No
so
way.
embarrassing.
No way.
Yeah. But anyway, please send me That is for you, Joshua M. Please send me, let's talk about the primary difference between the real-time operating system and baseband OS in a phone is that the baseband is responsible for wireless communications.
Okay.
Baseband operating system?
I don't get that one at all.
I don't get it either. EMH, sorry, mi English is not so good. Yeah. Yo hablo español para gringos solamente.
Sí, cómo no.
Sí, como no. Yo tengo un mustacho y muy guapo. ¿Dónde está Juan? Juan está en la biblioteca. Hola, Juan. Hola, Maria. Yeah, I took the 3rd grade Spanish books too.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
Larry Bilsey. Larry Bilse. Can you explain subnetting?
Dave posted links to both of the episodes you did on subnetting.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, Larry, we've done a couple of episodes on them already.
Watch those.
And if you still have questions, come back and ask, okay?
Yep, absolutely.
Because in these episodes, we're grinding through it. I mean, really pounding it. So, Larry, please watch those episodes. Scott says Dave already put a link in the chat window for you. And then come back to me if you have any more questions. John Lehman, a recent, no, I'm not even going to bother with that one. Jamal Hale, if I have both my Network Plus and Security Plus, do I still need my A Plus? No. But what you do need, Jamal, is a job. Are you working? Jamal, do you have a job? That's the important thing. Personally, if you've got Network Plus and Security Plus and you're moving into a security world, you should be looking at more advanced certifications. I mean, you should be considering, ISACA or, one of the other big players out there. Certified ethical hacker maybe, or even the CompTIA.
One of the AWS ones.
Or for security?
Oh. I didn't see that.
I was assuming security. Dustin Smith, hey Mr. Myers, Mario told me to say hi. Hey Dustin Smith, tell Mario he still owes me $3. Yeah, where is Alice? That's not. Yeah, Alice isn't here.
She's not here.
There we go.
She's studying for Security Plus. Come on.
Is she? All right.
Yeah. Not wasting your time listening to you.
Who's your Benjamin? Are you by any chance from Indiana?
Right. Where are you at?
I jumped to 326 because I'm getting lost.
Oh.
I think I just skipped over a lot of stuff.
You did.
All right, well, I'm going to do Who's Your Benjamin.
Okay,
you scroll
then I'll
up.
come back. Yep.
Right? This gives you an opportunity to scroll.
Right.
I'm 14 and I'm trying to get an IT computer world. Well done.
That's awesome.
After I get my A+, I'm looking to get Net Plus Security and CCNA. Is this the path to take? So Hoosier, the thing is you've got lots of choices. There is no law that says you have to do one thing or another. Most people consider A+, Net Plus, Security Plus to be kind of the holy trinity to get you started in IT. For some people, they might even be looking at
ITF Plus?
I've gone blank.
What, ITF Plus?
ITF, is that right?
IT Fundamentals?
Thank you. Woof. Picked a heck of a week to stop smoking. But you go that way. So, like for example, you say at the end of this Hoosier, you say CCNA. Okay, that's fine. Why are you putting CCNA in there? Do you want to become a Cisco guy? Nothing wrong with that. It's a good foundation in Cisco iOS is important for just about everybody. But I would be almost more like A+, Net Plus, CCNA than Security Plus. But it's a matter of personal choices. RedTuber 33. Hello, all here, RedTuber. What should I do now? Scott, since I scrolled too quickly?
Since you scrolled too quickly. So at 3:14, Kyle Cullen said, Scott, I just completed your A+ prep classes. Excellent. Going to study another month and taking the test. Let us know how you do. Good luck.
I gave you all that time and you had exactly one question queued up.
Come on, I'm getting there. Jason Helms didn't really believe that Michael Smyer was a real person.
He's not. Nobody saw the strings coming off of him.
He's not a real boy.
His mouth moves weird. He's got that whole, what do they call that? The uncanny valley thing going?
So,
really? You're just going to let that slide by?
yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Uncanny valley is like when a when a humanoid, there's a point where things are like cartoons and they're just cute, like Pac-Man, right? But then as you start making them...
Pac-Man is a monster.
Oh, all right, whatever. And it's the more you make it human looking, they continue to be more charming and people like them. But they reach a point where they're not quite human looking yet, where all of a sudden they're no longer interesting or attractive as humans. We don't like looking at them because they freak us out. And all of a sudden the interest in that drops precipitously. And then as they start to get really human looking, it goes back up. So this little dip's known as the uncanny valley.
I like it. Kind of like I think about my sarcasm politics.
Be good. I don't know about you, but I think I put something very full of caffeine in this coffee. Come on, let's go jogging at 2 a.m. Woo!
So Kim Jong-oof says he hasn't received his reward from the last contest. Kathy's really busy, so it might take a couple of weeks for her to get back with you. You can always email Mike or me, and we'll follow up with it. Again, it takes a couple of weeks.
Yeah, just be patient with us. We're a little small operation here, guys. You know, it's not like we're ExxonMobil or something. So, Kathy, she's only one woman. I'm completely lost, Scott. You're going to have to...
Then we are like 317 is when we hit the first contest.
Yep.
Carla Rain. And then 319 is when we hit the second contest. And 320, Teacher Russell has the snark comment of the day. What is this, typing class or A+ practice?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
Okay, so I'm... Oh, and David already answered.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. It's hip to be square.
Okay, so Hoosier Benjamin's question was at 326.
Okay. So 328.
Jason Helms?
Yeah.
At Mike, how in depth does the A+ go into command line? There's a lot of info to digest command line. It's just taking my time with it. You know what's interesting is that the A+ does a lot on command line, and it does a lot on PowerShell, and it does a lot on Bash Shell. And is it doing a lot, though? The trick to understanding command line tools of any form, command line interface, is to create situations where you need to do it. And like for example, copying and moving files at a command line, if you know what you're trying to move, is usually much faster than graphically, especially if you're being persnickety about stuff. So, you know, practicing both in a Linux and in a Windows environment, you know, copying and moving of files, including with or without folders, is a great place to just cut your teeth a little bit and to dive in there. So, Jason, the answer is it goes into tremendous depth. Not only do you need to run a bunch of commands, but you need to know what does netstats output look like. Okay, NSLOOKUP. You know, you're going to have an output, and they're going to go, where'd this come from? And you need to be able to recognize different outputs from different command line utilities. So, yeah, the answer is a lot.
Yep.
I mean, but these are things you should know.
Right.
It's not like you're going into some crazy thing that isn't there.
No, the command line, understanding the command line and how to operate certainly once you get into networking, ask our systems administrator how often he does stuff via SSH and the command line with all of our network gear. And his answer will be everything. So understanding what you need to do from the command line becomes increasingly important as you progress.
Net Plus in July and Security Plus in August. This is Chris A. Young at 329. Best single piece of advice, be calm. Don't panic. The biggest mistake people make is they sit down to take exams and they freak out. And they start blaming that terrible Mike Meyers and his awful books. I've never seen questions like this. The thing you got to keep in mind is on all the CompTIA exams is that the first 2 or 3 questions you run into after the performance-based questions are probably ungraded beta questions. And people see those right at the beginning, of course.
Of course.
And so they see these beta questions and, there's no objectives on it. And they freak out and then it's like, just stay calm.
Yep.
It's literally the most important thing I can say.
Yeah. So Red Tuber at 3:30 mentioned that his daughter graduated university yesterday. Congratulations to her. That's awesome. And you're scheduled Security Plus for the end of June.
Yeah, be good with that stuff, Red Tuber. Remember that the 501 retires at the end of July.
Yeah.
So
you've got time. You can do this.
You can do it.
I have faith.
But we're getting close.
Yep.
Lots of @ signs in here.
Yeah. Well, we are so far behind, people are answering each other's questions. That's the problem. Okay, here's a good question. At 3:32 from Telewit.
Why, when you're copying large files in Windows 10, does the transfer rate start off so quickly and then drop down, sometimes to a crawl? There is a really good answer for this.
It would be called the buffers in the NICs.
Well, so he's saying when you're copying a large file in Windows 10, so it doesn't even necessarily imply that
he's doing scanning, right? He's scanning photographs and so literally creating giant files.
Okay.
And moving them. But just to give you a little background.
But we don't know that he's moving it from his machine to another machine. Right?
One would assume he's moving it to another drive, like a removable drive, to be able to hand off to a client.
NTFS it has a lot of, I'm not going to say issues with file movement, but there's a lot of stuff it does that we don't need to do anymore. And Microsoft needs to start changing some things. And I doubt they ever will.
Yep.
There you go. You want to talk about doing something at a command line that'll work a lot faster is, using some of the more improved copy commands will speed things up. Jean Dorival, hey Mike, can I have the new Security Plus book? Yes, you may. Just head over to Amazon and grab yourself one there, buddy. Oh no, 334, Nitrous Music. Artist, Nitrous Music, I failed the test, the A+ test.
That's unfortunate.
That is, it happens, man.
Yeah.
Nitrous Music, number 1. Remember, this is not an SAT, okay? Other than the inconvenience of time and money, you just retake the exam. So Nitrous Music, the other thing you want to keep in mind is you probably want to take it sooner than later. Nitrous Music, send me an email. Send me an email at michaelm@totalsem.com and I will walk you through a few things so that I want to make sure you're in the right place. I get nervous if you fail once. I personally fail 1/3 of all the exams I take, but I still want to talk to you. So be sure and when you send me an email, put the word Nitrous Music in there so I remember who I'm talking to. Teacher Russell, don't forget the St. Louis use of Hoosier. To me, a Hoosier is somebody from Indiana.
That's how I would think of it. But I'm not from Indiana, and I've never actually been there, so I don't
Hoosier.
know.
Jason Helms, Mike, what are we smoking? Oh, I'm high on life, mister.
So 339, CLW Chang says, for Pen Test Plus, is it more focused on being able to write the exact script and using the correct command line, or is it more theory of pen testing and knowing of the different attacks and vulnerabilities?
Yes. I think Pen Test Plus is the hardest exam that CompTIA offers. It's a very challenging exam. I don't know what else to tell you. It's a tough one, and you should be comfortable with both of those, CLW Chang. Looking for questions.
Oh my God, I keep super scrolling.
Super sounds of the 70s. Love goes where my Roseberry go. You didn't like Reservoir Dogs either? Oh, tell me you didn't see Reservoir Dogs.
I saw Reservoir. I can't even talk now. What have you done to my voice?
I don't know, Mr. Pink. Santi 24/7 365. So I saw a question about a fiber cable showing light on the server side, and the answer was A. Reverse the fiber strands of the cable and reconnect them.
Oof.
Gosh, Santi, you're not showing me enough of the question here for me to be able to answer this. A fiber cable showing light on the server side. Oh, I see what it is. It's I'm trying to make this hard, all right?
Okay.
So think like old ST-SC cables, all right?
All right.
Don't go with LC or MTRJ on this.
Okay.
So what's happening is which side has the laser light? Get it? Mm-hmm. So you have two SCs, all right? And you've got, if you look on the end, I know you're not supposed to look at the end, but I look at the end, right? And you see light coming in, don't plug it into the other side where light's coming out.
Right.
Because that's the send sides on both sides of the, that's all he means by that.
Okay.
Okay, so Santi, did I answer it? Remember, in a laser, fiber optic, well, it doesn't even have to be laser, it could be multi-mode, it could be LEDs. The send side has got the actual light source. So you're not going to have a light source on both lights. Let me just make sure everything's on here. Cue me up for the next one, brother.
I am. Jason was actually thinking that we were smoking ribs or something.
Yeah, that's what he was thinking. Sure. Okay. Those ribs sure are edible, aren't they? Delicious ribs.
Delicious.
Andrew Hutz. I actually think it's July 30. July 30.
Dave confirmed.
Okay.
Yep.
We are running short on time, dude. We only got 12 minutes
12
left.
minutes left, but we're almost at the end of the questions.
Are there any more questions?
Red Tuber. 1971, brand new pair of roller skates.
I've got a brand new key. Shine along with me. All right, I'm done. I think that's it.
I think that's it.
I think we've wrapped it up. All right, guys. So, first of all, congratulations to our two winners. I absolutely. Oh, and by the way, Andrew Hutz, I did contact your friend. I CC'd you. I don't owe you $100, and I'm very much looking forward to having him come on. Probably not next week, but the week after that. So it's very exciting. Don't forget the Discord channel. For those of you, the Discord channel really is something. I have no control on this Discord channel, okay? It is not my channel. It's not Scott Jernigan's channel. It's not Total Seminar's channel. If I get on there, I'm just one of the schmoos. And so do feel free to jump on board. Scott, can you throw that Discord stuff up one more time? Way ahead of me. Okay, fantastic. So do please consider, usually the best time to get on the Discord channel, it's 24/7, it's anytime you want, but we do tend to get on Mondays and Wednesdays, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays,
right.
After this. So I'll be on today. It's going to take me about 10, 15 minutes after we sign off, but I'll be jumping on. Are you jumping on today?
I'll hang out here for a bit.
Well, if you don't mind, then why don't you and I just jump on together? Is that okay?
Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
And then, so that should be about it. What else do we have here?
So Wednesday, Mike Meyers, the man, the myth, the legend, has a presentation that he's going to do.
I already told him.
All right, I did tell him again.
Load balancing.
Yeah,
I'm going to
just making sure.
I've got
confirming.
it. It's like 2/3 the way done. I could almost do the presentation right now.
Poke.
Stop it, Mom. Mother always liked you better.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's all right. And for Dave, on Friday, Dave on his Dave Rush AMA is going to be finishing up honey pots and honey nets.
Which would be awesome.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
that's Friday. We do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time. So be there.
Santi 24/7 365. Could you just briefly explain the collision domains on a router only?
A router.
Routers don't have collision domains in and of themselves. So, Santi, sorry, bud. You're going to have to ask me some more. Jason Helms, I'm not going to let that out. All right, guys, so we are out of here. If I missed any questions, I apologize. Feel free to jump into the what you do call it, Discord channel. And you'll see Scott and I on there for at least a little bit today. And until then, I'll see you on Wednesday. Y'all have a great one. Be good. Bye-bye. Okay, that's close enough.